Okay, there it being 6:30 or so, I'm going to start the zoning board of appeals off January 21st. I'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20F. This meeting is being recorded. First hearing is 0 Hicksbridge Road, a hearing on an administrative appeal of Serious Business Incorporated applicant and Kendall D. Tripp owner from a letter issued by the Building Commissioner Zoning Enforcement Officer that the applicant is operating its commercial business in a residential agricultural district in violation of zoning bylaws articles 16, Section 5. The subject property is located at 0 Hicksbridge Road, Westport, Mass. and shown on Assessor's Map 55, lots 35 and 36. Voting on this will be Jerry Cretino, George Selgis, myself, Raj Menard, Constance Gee, and Cynthia Kosikowicz. The way we manage this meeting is I'll have somebody, a representative from the petitioner come up. They will provide whatever information is pertinent, and then the board will ask questions. After that, I'll open it up to the general public. Since what started this was a letter from the zoning enforcement officer, Ralph Souza. Dear Mr. Tripp, after a recent site visit to your property on Hicksbridge Road, Assessor's Map 55, lots 35, 36, it was noticed that Serious Business Landscaping and Firewood has been allowed to use a portion of the property to operate their business. This is a violation of the Westport zoning bylaws. Specifically noted were the following: up to 12 pieces of equipment on site, stack of cut trees. These activities constitute commercial use not permitted in the residential agricultural district, which is a violation of Westport zoning bylaws Article 5. You are hereby ordered to cease operations and commercial use of the property. You are granted 30 days from receipt of this notice to bring property into compliance. Please be advised that failure to comply may result in issuance of daily fines up to $300 per day as authorized under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40, Section 21D. Each day the violation continues will be considered a separate offense. Also, please note that stockpiling of materials requires a soils permit from the Westport Commission. Now, before we get started, I want to welcome our new board member, Kevin McGough. He will be an alternate member, so welcome, and I hope you enjoy your time here, but you learn something, and you can contribute to. Now, the way this board works is, even though you and Janice are both alternates, you are involved in all aspects of this up until the point of voting. So you ask questions. If you have any issues, feel free to address them, at any time. So is there anybody here from? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Richard Burke. I'm with Beauregard, Burke and Franco in New Bedford. With me is Chris Fortier of Serious Business. We did submit a letter, Mr. Chairman. We would request a continuance of tonight's hearing. We did submit, in addition to the administrative appeal, a zoning variance request for this property. That is scheduled to be heard by the board right now on February 11th. So we would ask that this matter be continued to the same time. We couldn't get both applications in at the same time because we were waiting for an engineering plan to show the topography of the lot, which is the basis of our zoning variance request. That took a little bit more time than the administrative appeal.
Right, otherwise, you could have put them both on the same application.
We had to get the administrative appeal in within 30 days of the order per state law. So I wanted to meet that filing requirement, but we wanted to get the engineering plan to make a good presentation to you in regard to the zoning variance request. So we were a couple of weeks later or so in getting that in. They couldn't be advertised at the same time, but I think it would make sense and be more efficient, and also allow us to make a presentation of, why it should be granted a zoning variance if we can do it at the same time.
Okay. I know, I did receive your email requesting the continuance. You also requested that we do the variance first. I don't think we're going to do that by order of precedent. I think we will do the administrative appeals are usually fairly straightforward. Either Ralph Souza followed adhered to the zoning bylaws or not. It's a yes or no kind of a thing. So, and if that one, obviously, if we grant your appeal on that, then we don't have to have the variance. So either way, it's sort of six, one half dozen of the others, but I think in the next hearing, we'll start off with the administrative appeal and then go to the variance.
Okay, that's fine.
That, assuming that we do continue it. So you're asking for a continuance to the next hearing, which is February 11th.
Yes, that's right.
Comments from board?
Yes, I have a comment. I think this is an example of a situation where, to do the job right, I think we need to do an on-site,
Yes, yeah.
because this is the property that's directly across from the landfill, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and you just put a new roadway?
It's existing road.
Yeah, well, it's redone, okay.
Shined up.
All right, because I think that to see the property, we can't see anything what's in there. I think we'll have a large bearing on what
The
we.
variance part of this.
Right, on the variance.
Not
part.
for the
So,
administrative appeal
right,
part.
so what I'm thinking, I'm just going to suggest it, is that in order to save time on the other end, that we continue the hearing to an on-site now, between now and February 11th, so that on February 11th, we have a much better idea in our mind what the property looks like.
Yeah.
Instead of coming February 11th and say, well, we don't know,
Is the property accessible?
It is.
Even, I mean-
It does have a gate, but I can be happy to. leave
Okay,
it
but I mean, it's
Yeah.
plowed, I mean, you can drive.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay, is there some way that we could get access to view the property?
Of course.
And how would we do that?
If you had a parameter of days, I could leave the gate open during the day.
Or you leave it open during the
It's
day?
almost open every day during the day.
Okay.
Would you want us, a representative, or Chris, or myself to be, or both of us to be there at the time? We can just arrange a time. We're certainly happy to
I
have
think
you
that
come
would be
look.
well, there's two ways we can do it. I mean, we can just go
We
individually.
can just go in and look.
Or, what we usually do on an on-site is we go as a board.
As a group.
And we note that with the notice, and this way here, we don't typically discuss anything.
Right.
On the on-site, but we view it, and we ask questions perhaps of the owner or the user. And then when we come back on February 11th, we would then be familiar with what we're talking about.
Certainly.
That's just a suggestion.
Yes, yes,
We certainly agree with that, and we're
I
happy
agree
to
with, well,
accommodate
for the
that.
variance part, because I've looked ahead for
Right.
your paperwork for the variance, and you were noting severe gradients that would make it difficult to be used as residential. Well, obviously, that's one thing where, being there and looking at it would be helpful. Would you agree?
Yes, do we have, it has to be noticed that we're doing it on-site, do we have time for that?
Has to be posted with the town clerk, so at least 48 hours.
Okay,
You could just drive by, just like we do any other property, if you didn't want to have it as part of a group.
The disadvantage of that is just not knowing exactly what
we're
Where-
looking at,
doing, and putting stuff here or there or whatever, we're just viewing. So it's just,
Yes.
like I say, a suggestion. Would you want to make it formal continuation as a posted meeting?
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna vote on the continuation, but
Yeah.
we can also discuss an onsite.
Right.
Right,
As-
so the
as-
contin-
as a group.
because we're continuing the administrative appeal that has nothing to do with the
Right.
onsite.
That's correct.
Right. Right.
But,
So would the members, would you prefer to go on your own or go as a group?
Let's do a family outing.
what do you think?
I agree with
Yeah.
Jerry that, having somebody there to say, here's what we plan on doing things, because it's several acres, that it would be helpful to us all go there and say, oh, okay, this is where you plan on doing it, so
Let's do it together then.
let's do it together. And we can pick a date, or we could just,
Yeah, typically, we go on a Saturday morning.
typically go on a Saturday.
Oh,
This Saturday, I think, is before the snowstorm.
Right, it is.
Is there a time enough to
Oh,
post?
I might not have time.
Excuse me?
this
Is this?
You're not going to be in town on
Yeah,
Saturday.
but I can still log it off, but yeah.
To read, okay.
Well, there's not enough time to post it for this Saturday, according to,
Yeah, 48
Maria.
hours.
Well,
I
what,
can't be here tomorrow, but.
no, a week from Saturday. How about we do it a week from
Yeah,
Saturday?
I could come and post it tomorrow.
I don't know.
Well, Constance can't be here.
this Saturday.
What's that?
Constance can't be here on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So how about we do it a week from Saturday?
So the 31st?
Fine with me, I don't care when it
Is
is.
that okay, everybody? Mm-hmm. Let me check my.
Is that okay with you?
What time?
Is that okay with you?
Yes, I will happily make that work.
Do it 11?
31st, okay.
I think you might have something, you
Yeah,
have a,
my grandson is up in Boston playing soccer.
what time you got to be there?
It's from 9 to 10, so
If we did it in the
if
afternoon.
we gave it, yeah, after lunch, I can do it. 'Cause It's about an hour and a half up there.
Okay, so like 2 o'clock or so.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Fine.
Okay, I can't do it then, sorry. But I could do it as early, I mean, I have a doctor's appointment at 1:15.
Noon?
3.
Oh, you can't do noon.
I could do noon, but he can't
Right.
do
You
noon.
can't.
I can't be here on the 11th because I'm going to be in Virginia, so she has the priority over me.
Right, because
Oh,
he's
so
not going
you're
to be here at the
Oh, you're
meeting.
not going to be here?
Right.
Oh, okay, right, yes.
On the 11th.
You're right, I will be in Virginia, so.
Okay, so we'll,
So 11?
so-
Could we do it in the morning, or, I mean, or in the afternoon after, closer to 3?
Then we're looking at sun.
Huh?
we can do it in the morning because George doesn't have to be here. He won't be here for the meeting.
Right.
So we'll do it in the morning on a week
First.
from
First.
Saturday, 31st. Is that all right?
Would 11 work?
11?
11's fine.
11's okay?
Get a chance for
11
the
okay
sun
with
to
you?
come out.
Kevin?
I don't know if you need me to do the visit, but I won't be
Every-
here that Saturday. But I could go visit separately also,
Okay,
if that would,
that was, yeah,
I could very easily go by and,
okay, we can fill you in.
yeah.
Is 11
And
okay
you're
with you?
good?
That's perfect.
11 on
You're-
You're
Saturday?
certainly
Sure.
welcome to
That
come
day.
Okay,
separately
okay.
if you want
Well,
to
because.
shoot an email or
Yeah.
we'll arrange that.
So I'll read, I, Sirius Business Incorporated, request that the hearing on my petition be continued until February 11, 2026. I understand that the deadline for making a decision will be extended accordingly. So we have a request, do we have a motion? All right, I'll make a motion to grant the request to continue this hearing until February 11th at 6:30. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, no. Okay, so we will see you on, we'll see you
First.
on the week from Saturday, and we'll continue the meeting until February 11th, where we will discuss
Is
both
it all right
aspects.
if I'm able to join, that I join on the 31st as well? Any-
Sure,
that's-
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when is the onsite?
31st
At 11.
at 11.
Do you know that, I put Z in there and the whole thing popped into my calendar, isn't that weird? At 11 o'clock. Freaks me out.
What,
Oh, but it does that, and I do that for the zoning board, I mean, like tonight, when you have to use in the email, I just go Z, and it says ZBA, and it says.
oh, I hate it when
But
when
it
autocorrect
says
like
11
that,
o'clock.
yes.
Oh, that-
How do it know?
Oh, I don't know, that's kind of freaky, mine usually says 6:30.
Saturday,
Thank you very much.
31st, okay.
It's just
Okay,
weird.
that's, that.
Big Brother's watching.
Okay, the second hearing tonight, 683 American Legion Highway, administrative appeal of Adelino Medeiros and Deborah Medeiros from the determination by the building commissioner and zoning enforcement officer dated December 1, 2025, that the owner, AMA Engineering LLC, is in compliance with condition number 1 of the 2012 site plan approval that mandates that the owner shall install and maintain the storm, water, and septic systems at all times with no impact off-site. Subject property located at 683 American Legion Highway, Westport, Mass., and is shown on Census Map 35, Lot 3B. Once again, voting on this will be Jerry Cotino, George Selgis, myself, Roger Menard, Constance Gee, and Cynthia Kazekowicz. And this will require this administrative appeal will require a vote of 4 of the members in affirmative. Let me get my paperwork out here. The, let's get out of the way. Okay. Didn't go to one of your enclosures to. I believe that what started this was a letter from the zoning enforcement officer. It said, "Dear Attorney Marsh, I am receipt of your letter dated September 9, 2025, in which you claim that the property located at 683 American Legion Highway is in violation of a 2012 site plan approval by the town. I reviewed the site plan approval for AMA Engineering Smart Move Conveyor LLC. With regard to the June 5, 2012 decision, noted in the decision findings of fact number 2, the project as presented protects adjoining premises by avoiding adverse effects on natural environment and abutters. Buffer for abutters has been adequately addressed and/or provided as required under zoning bylaw 15.4.2. Further, as condition number 1, the applicant and any successor in interest agrees and shall, as a condition of this approval, install and maintain stormwater and septic systems at all times. In addition, there shall be no negative impact on site. I have verbally spoken to the property owner who claims that the system has been maintained and operated as permitted. I will follow up my verbal conversations in writing. I note that if there's damage to your client's property from redirected stormwater, your client has privileged right of action irrespective of town involvement. You may appeal this decision within 30 days. I believe that is what started this petition. So again, we'll have the applicant come forward, provide what information is pertinent. Board will ask questions, and after the board has finished asking questions, I'll open it up to the public. So,
Good evening. For the record, my name is Jim Marsh, and I represent Deborah and Al Medeiros, owners of 48 Old County Road, Westport, Massachusetts. And I'm here with Steve Giosa from SiteTech Engineering. As you mentioned, Chairman, we're here on an appeal of a building commissioner's failure to take enforcement action against the owners of 683 American Legion Highway for violations of the Planning Board's June 5th, 2012 site plan approval, particularly condition 1 of that decision, which requires that the drainage system that was installed with that development back in 2012 be maintained by the owner to ensure no negative impacts off-site. That's condition 1. Conditions of the site plan approval are to be enforced through the building commissioner to ensure that an owner adheres to the approved plans and specific conditions imposed by that decision. Condition 1 again. It's clear from the evidence provided by the Medeiros to the commissioner, which was also provided to the board as part of our appeal petition. We provided photos. There was a flash drive that included videos also, and there was an assessment letter from Mr. Giosa that the drainage system at that property has not been maintained by the owner for some time, and this failure to maintain the system has led to less capacity due to obstructions, failures, and changes in that system. This failure to maintain the system has resulted in an overflow to the Medeiros property, which is a violation of Condition 1. And the town, through its commissioner, has an obligation to investigate this violation and issue remedial orders to ensure compliance. Enforcement mechanisms available to the commissioner include the issuance of an order for an immediate cease to the unauthorized discharges of stormwater off-site and requiring a proposed solution and timeline to implement. The commissioner's decision not to take action in this case, we don't think was supported by the record that was provided to him or before him. As mentioned in his letter, it was based on a verbal representation from the owner that the system has been maintained and operated as permitted. This does not line up with the owner's own representation to our clients that there are, quote-unquote, no system maintenance records available. The commissioner has an obligation to require the owner provide him documentation to demonstrate that the professed maintenance of the system is being done, or, in the alternative, he could have conducted his own investigation or inspection of the drainage system to confirm whether it is maintained and functioning properly. We think his decision to not take action also runs afoul of that substantial documentary expert evidence that was provided to him demonstrating that the system is not functioning and causing repeated off-site flooding impacts to the premises. As I mentioned earlier, with me tonight is Mr. Giosa from SciTech Engineering. He'll advise the board as to why the system's not working as designed, the off-site impacts to the Medeiros property, and what corrective actions, which in what he'll explain are simple to implement and for the owners to follow. These need to be taken to resolve these off-site stormwater problems.
Good evening. For the record, Steve Giosa with SciTech. Briefly, my history with the project goes back to the 2012 approval by the planning board. The Medeiros at that time retained me to assist them with making sure that this new development was not going to have a negative impact on their property. They were concerned at that time with potential drainage impacts. So we reviewed the plans. We did provide comments to planning. And eventually, the planning board did implement some of our recommendations through their engineer. And as Jim indicated, one of the conditions, and I think probably the most important, was in addition to installing the drainage mitigation that had been designed by their engineer, maintain it, inspect it, maintain it periodically. Otherwise, anything you put in the ground eventually is going to fail if it doesn't receive proper maintenance. This particular system had some great mitigation measures. I think their engineer did a good job. It starts with your typical catch basins and trench drains to collect the runoff. The roof drains were directed into an underground recharge system, which helped control the flow of water to down gradient properties, so that's a good element of the design. But the catch basin system overflows into a on-site recharge system for stormwater off the parking lot runoff. So from the loading area, from the parking lot area, the runoff goes through these catch basins, which trap the oils and greases and some of the sediments. And then there's an overflow into this, almost like a big septic system that they built in the back of the building. That system was designed to not hold necessarily all the water, but to let some of it seep into the ground, store some of it and slow it down, slow the flow down, and then let it meter out slowly into a drainage swale behind the building. And that drainage swale has vegetation and a little crushed stone to filter the final flow and let it continue heading downhill like it did before there was a development there, but to head downhill at a slower rate and with less volume than if it were allowed to go unchecked through a commercial parking lot. So you can picture, we start with an undeveloped piece, we put pavement and building down, we're going to generate more runoff. It's going to be dirtier water because of the sediment and greases off cars and the like dropping onto the pavement, and it goes into the basins and through this system. The Medeiros, once this was installed, the system worked great for 10 years. So we got 10 good years out of the use of the system. They did not experience flooding issues, they didn't see overflows. Suddenly, we're starting to see more and more overflows. So they contacted Attorney Marsh and then myself to take a look at what could be going on today that didn't occur for the first 10 years of operation. And what we looked at is, we've got a nice system, well-designed, appeared to have been installed correctly, worked great for 10 years, and all of a sudden it's not working. The first thing that came to mind to me was, well, it sounds like a maintenance issue. Has somebody done what the regulations require for maintaining this type of drainage system? And it comes down to, you've got three major components of this system. You've got the trench drain and the catch basins with the manhole piping. Those parts of the system are real easy. You open the covers, you look inside, sediment builds up, you clean them out. They should be inspected twice a year, every year. Usually we recommend end of the fall season before the winter, so you get a nice start to when you're doing sanding and you're getting more sediments coming onto the pavement in the winter. And then in the springtime, after you've gone through the winter season, you do another inspection and make sure you haven't over sanded and the accumulated sediments aren't flushing out to the next part of the system. So the owner should have been doing routine inspections of that part of the system. The next component of the system is the recharge system and storage. There's an inspection port, you inspect it, you start surcharging, it acts just like a septic system, so it needs to be maintained like a septic system. If you don't clean your septic tank, you're gonna have a problem with the leaching field. It's the same thing here. You don't clean the catch basins, you're gonna have a problem with the drainage leaching system. And then finally, the overflow to a series of grass swales and a little check dam. You look in those areas for any overflow sediments. You look for, sometimes you get some settlement because you get a heavy flow of water. You might get some differential sediment. And if that happens, which is what I think has occurred here, you get a short circuiting of the system and that excess water, unfortunately, goes to the Madeira's property. So you've got three components. All should be maintained and inspected routinely. And when they observe an issue, it should be fixed immediately. There should be records kept. Clearly, if I'm a commercial business owner, I'm expending funds on maintaining a system, I'm going to deduct that from my taxes because it's a business expense. So we thought it was a simple request. We asked for, records of what has been inspected, what maintenance has occurred, have the basins been cleaned, have they needed to be cleaned? Sometimes we'll inspect catch basins and it may be 3 years before we actually have to have someone go in there and clean them out. It depends on how the property operates. So we have not gone on the property, obviously, to do that physical inspection. So we asked for their maintenance records and none have been produced. We think the answer is it's not been maintained. People put these systems in the ground, as long as they're working, they forget about them. It happens on commercial developments quite a bit. I think that's probably the case here. So all we were asking for is that through Ralph's office, a request be made to produce the maintenance records to demonstrate that they have been in compliance with the approval from the planning board, which require them to maintain the system. And then if there needs to be some fix, which may be nothing more than fixing a little bit of the berm so that there isn't a short circuiting at the outlet point, and making sure that the catch basins are clean and the leaching field hasn't clogged to the point where it would need to be replaced. Just like your septic systems on your house, periodically they have to expect this leaching field for the drainage system is going to fail, just like your septic system should last 20, 25, 30 years if you maintain it correctly. The same should occur here, and if they're not maintaining it, maybe they only got 10 years of life out of this system and they've got to now upgrade it. But we're hoping that they can provide enough documentation, fix the little bit of an overflow that's occurring on the berm in the back when the weather allows to do a little bit of grading and get it stabilized, and then we get happy neighbors. So that's really what we've been looking to have accomplished. We tried going first to the abutter, then we went to the town hall, and we're now before you to see if we can't get some action to push the issue of proper maintenance and documentation, if nothing else.
Ralph, your take on this?
My take on it is basically, when the property was developed, it was under site plan approval, and it's Tibet's Engineering that approved everything. So the way I read the site plan approval is they would maintain it on their own. I mean, any building inspector sitting in the office doesn't have the time to go check every commercial site over a period of years of what we get to do already. So I went as far as I could go with it, and I couldn't go any further with it.
Well, I mean, I'm reading the decision from the planning board, and one of the conditions is that the applicant and any successor in interest agrees and shall, as a condition of this approval, install and maintain the stormwater septic systems at all times. In addition, there shall be no negative impact off-site. So the planning board condition mandates that it be maintained. So isn't
Correct.
that still part of?
That's part of it, but I'm not, how does the planning board doesn't invite me to their hearings for one. So how am I supposed to do this?
Have you talked to have you requested maintenance records from?
I've asked them for maintenance record, they tell me it's being maintained, and that's all I've got. I mean, the days that I've gone, I did on-sites there, the system was working.
Okay,
There was water collected in the retention area, the system was working. I didn't see visibly any problems with it.
is there any way of doing another on-site to?
Well, I see, again, I'm a building inspector, buildings.
Yes,
You need engineers.
Yes.
Like
right.
you need engineers to go look at it.
You need somebody who specializes.
Right,
in-
specialized in drainage systems. I'm a building inspector, building's what I do.
Yes. Yeah, this one is kind of unusual. Usually, when we do administrative appeals, it's based on a condition of zoning, because it's the zoning board. We've never had one where we had an administrative appeal based on a planning board decision. So
But it does fall under zoning. I mean,
it
site plan
stands
approval-
under zoning because it is in the zoning bylaw.
Correct,
Yes.
yeah.
It's in the zoning bylaw for 2012, which I had a hard time finding the paragraph number because it doesn't exist
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
So we had
And
to
it
go
also
back.
puts the enforcement into Ralph's hands.
it does.
Right, right. If we were to grant this, well, how would that affect you?
That's just, the board disagreed that my letter was based on conversations with Copeland and Page, town council.
I mean, we have to be concerned here about, because it says here, we have to be concerned about the neighbors.
Yeah,
So how do we go about doing that?
A cease and desist,
It's-
right?
well,
Tell them to
it'd
stop
be,
charging.
it'd be, have a
Not hard to
meeting,
stop.
getting all parties involved and say, okay, what's happening here? That's what, this should have happened before, but it escalated. It really escalated, so, I mean, I'm not an engineer.
Right.
I do buildings, I don't do landscaping, I don't do drainage.
And to that point, I think some of the solution has already been outlined in some way by Mr. Giosa and what he's provided already. And I think if following that, that could be what the board could require Mr. Souza to do.
But again, he's not an expert in.
That's why he has provided that information as to what the owners at that property need to follow. And if he can enforce that, or
We're
require
not
them
getting,
to do that.
What's that?
we're still asking questions. When we're done asking questions, I will open it up to the floor.
It goes back to, okay, I'm not an engineer. Buildings are what I do, not drainage.
Well, that,
So
and.
what happens is, this is a planning board decision.
Yes,
Right.
It's tied to zoning, but it's not. It's a planning board decision. So the planning board could have said at this decision to the parties involved, you ought to hand us yearly reports on the systems at that point.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Why?
actually say that.
It doesn't say that.
It just says you
It
have to
just-
maintain it. It doesn't
Let's,
say that you
let's
have
let
to
the
report
building
it.
inspector do it, that does buildings, not drainage. And I go there and I look at it and it's working. I said, so what's the problem?
Yes.
Could I? No, I was just going to chime in here. I think it's somewhat distant from Ralph's expertise, and I don't know this, but I would almost think it's far from his ability to enforce. I think it's up to the owner to see that this is done, and if not, then it's a violation. And a violation comes with $300 a day penalties. And I think that ought to be seriously considered. But I don't know, I mean, you've got planning board here, you've got conservation
Yeah.
commission that deals with stormwater runoff.
Correct.
Which I'm not hearing anything about.
No.
And
They're not
you've got
involved.
And you've got the building department, and you've got the owner, and you've got the Board of Health that sometimes keeps certain records of pump outs and so forth. So I think it's a mixed bag of responsibility, but the actual responsibility is the owner abiding by the bylaw.
Right, and that's where I'm at a quandary here, because, well, we have two ways of doing this. We can either grant or we can reject. And I don't see that either one of those solves your problem.
Well, it does.
Because all we're gonna say is, Ralph, take care of this, and Ralph is gonna say, that's not in my job
But
description.
what he needs to do is issue a cease and desist and start fining the guys until the records are produced. And if they don't produce the records, then they keep giving a $300 a day fine.
The thing you've also got his engineer, hired engineer, and you've got the engineer by AMI. So you've got two engineers. I've got two engineers. One engineer's report says it's working fine. The other engineer points out all kind of things
Do
wrong.
you have something in writing from that engineer saying it's working
I believe
fine?
there is things in my folder. If it's not here, it's in the folder.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
If it's not with me now, it's probably in the folder.
No, but it's a written statement
It's a-
saying that
It's a
it's working
statement saying
fine.
that it's working by their engineers.
Well,
Steve?
your letter said that you talked to them.
Right, I talked to them, but they said they did site
I mean,
visits to it.
That doesn't imply to me that they gave you documentation
Well,
showing they did it.
They must, there's gotta be, if they've done it, if they're telling me they've done it, did they do reports? And the gentleman said yes.
And why can't we see them?
Is there anyone here from it?
If I may just,
I'm going to open it up now
Okay.
because it's going to be,
okay.
come up to the microphone. Because it's important to know
It is
if there is maintenance records.
Absolutely, and being accused of something without SciTech coming to the property at all and requesting any of these things is an injustice to us.
Could you identify yourself, please?
Yes, Paula Wright, AMA Engineering. Okay? Mrs. Maderas had existing flooding problems before any work was permitted or started at the project site. Mrs. Maderas, in a town meeting on March 13th, 2012, that her land is the lowest of the abutter parcels with existing draining issues. She noted she gets flooded all the time. Maderas stated that she had wetlands on her property. Montego asked if the applicant has requested for Conservation Commission determination. They responded, they did not have any wetlands on their property. Okay, conflict right there.
Can we,
Prior to the
can we just address the issue at hand?
Absolutely.
2012?
Absolutely.
I'd like to know if you have records.
We have records, we have documentation. It is done every spring, every fall. We have a maintenance man.
Can the board see copies of?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And why were they not provided to Mr.?
We have
Mr. Souza?
documentation and we have photographs.
But why were they not provided for Mr. Souza when he asked for them?
Mr. Souza said, "Do you take records?" I said, "Yes, we do." And the engineer involved also, "We do take records."
Well-
That is exactly what he said. We do take records.
And.
And photographs, documentation, and maintained.
So I think I'd like to see those records.
Absolutely. They can be provided.
You don't have them with you tonight?
This is not against me. This was against Ralph. This right here, this appeal, was for this.
Yes, that's
This is
correct.
not.
That's right.
I came as an open
Yes.
Fine.
floor. However, they are maintained. The topography of the land has always caused rainwater flow towards the southwest corner on the right slots. When was the last time you had a flood event claim? Anybody put in a claim for a flood event? Never. Do you have any dates of flood events? Do you have any claims? You don't. Anybody knocked on our door saying there's a problem here? No, not at all. When we asked Attorney Marsh for dates of the flooding events, there were no dates provided. The Wrights have been photographing all storms and levels of the swales and the ponds and have such noted dates and photographs. The engineering design drainage system is functioning as designed, which is to reduce water flow. The engineering design drainage system was not designed to fix the pre-existing problem. That was overdone. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to put this drainage system in, not on the property, on the drainage system. That drainage system holds 35,000 gallons of stormwater before it releases slowly through an orifice. Sorry. To say that we haven't maintained and you haven't even checked it out is a problem for me. That property's maintained, the swales are maintained, they're always weed whacked. We're checking for cracks. Every storm we're over there, taking photographs of it, and we have no claim of anything, of any change in any water flow. There needs to be a documented change, and there isn't. There isn't a claim. So a yard gets wet? Tell me more. How can I help? That's exactly what we did through the entire process. How can we help? What can we do? Did I want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a drainage system? No. I did because my neighbors asked me to.
Okay, thank you.
Could I ask you a question, please?
Sorry. Yes.
Yes. You say that you have these records.
I do.
You have photographs of every...
I do.
Every time it floods.
Every time it floods, every time it storms.
Storms.
Yes, every time it comes to the top of the swale.
So why don't you just produce them?
I will. This wasn't my hearing.
That takes care of it.
Absolutely, this wasn't my hearing.
But
Thank
they need to show that it's been maintained.
Absolutely.
And now, I want to ask the engineer. You mentioned in the second phase about a tank, and it needs to be cleaned. You use the word cleaned. Is that like a septic system where they pump it and literally clean it on there? Could you?
Yeah,
maybe
so-
explain? But I want to know if you had that done.
It is silt, and yes, we clean the silt.
Okay, so it gets pumped out.
It is not pumped.
Yes,
Sorry.
It is pumped.
Is
Is that what you're saying?
Somebody gets in there, shovels it out.
Okay, and your name, please?
My name is Andrew Wright.
Okay. So you know who you had pump this thing and clean this system?
Our maintenance man, yes.
Or your own maintenance man?
Of course, we have a lot of properties, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's fine. If that is, so you have these
Records? Yes,
records and
And
they're
photographs? Yes.
Original records.
which is pure documentation.
Just so I make clear the record, we did not accuse the Wrights of not doing the inspections. We have repeatedly requested those records through Attorney Marsh, through the Building Department, through other boards in town, and they have never been produced. So this is not something we wanted to be in front of you on. We wanted to have those records to look at. They've never been produced.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number two, you're right, the cleaning can be done with a shovel and a bucket if someone's willing to jump into a catch basin. I wouldn't recommend that because you get oils and greases. That's a dangerous situation. Confined space, it's an OSHA violation. But that's not my business. It's not my property. But we have not, to this day, seen any evidence of that. We do have evidence from our clients depicting overflows. And I agree with what she said. Their obligation was not to fix existing drainage problems. Their obligation was not to make it any worse. And for 10 years, they worked fine. Something changed. And all we've done is pointed out that it was designed well, it was probably installed correctly, something changed during that time period, and that's typically a function of maintenance. That's all we've said, that's what our reports have said. We're not accusing them of not doing the required inspections. Attorney Marsh has requested them, and they've not produced them. So that's why, unfortunately, we're here tonight,
Okay.
wasting everybody's time.
If they were to produce the records to the
We'll
zoning
review 'em.
enforcement officer, would that satisfy your issues?
We'll review them and see what the documentation is. Until we see it, we don't know what their records.
Because a lot could have changed. I mean, we've had more rain, I would say, in the last 5 years. Other construction has gone in the area that changes things as well. You know, the aquifers changed underneath. I mean, there's a lot of things that are beyond their control that could have changed. Maintenance, obviously, is one of them. But if Ms. Wright can produce those records and show that it's been properly maintained, then there's nothing else the town can really do, because that's
We
just,
can't- we
it's Mother
can't-
Nature
We
has,
can't address a change in rainfall,
Yeah.
obviously. However, in the 10 years that it did operate, there were some pretty significant rainfall events, and there were no problems for the Madeiras. Significant beyond the types that they've now seen impacting their properties. So
There's
I
other
think
things
that you're
that-
right, that we can't hold the rights responsible for things beyond their control. We can't ask that they follow the rules that the
Right.
planning board imposed. That's all we've asked from the beginning on this.
And that's all we've ever done, is follow the rules and ask you which hoops we need to jump through to make our neighbors happy. We would also like documentation as to when these events occurred.
It's right here.
If we can cross-reference that, that would be fantastic.
If you want to look at it, plug it in. It's got the dates, times of the 4 events.
All we're concerned with
Could you
is-
identify yourself, please?
I'm Deborah Maderas, 48 Old County Road.
As a board, all we're concerned with is that you complied with the decision of the planning board. So if you do have records that you did the maintenance, then according to the planning board decision, then you have complied with their decision. So that, providing those records to the zoning enforcement officer, actually, they should go to the planning board as well.
You should go to planning board.
Should go to planning board, but in order to solve our issue, you send a copy to Ralph.
You got to, provided they do enough maintenance, or the correct maintenance, the proper maintenance, that there's no off-site impacts. Whether they're doing maintenance, that doesn't satisfy the condition still.
it was
It
very
has to-
vague. It just says maintenance, unfortunately. It
Well,
doesn't say,
but there is a
But
caveat on there, and it
impact.
says, in addition, there shall be no negative impact off-site.
Right.
So, negative meaning not more than
Yeah.
what,
Was
Right.
before.
So
than
they
what was
may not be
before.
doing everything that's necessary with respect to maintaining the system, because we're having off-site negative impacts. So just because they're producing records from someone that serviced the system, as Steve said, something happened after 10 years of use of the system. And we're blaming it on there wasn't enough maintenance, or if they did maintenance, there wasn't enough maintenance, because we're having these off-site negative impacts that need to get resolved. And that's why we're in front of you guys.
right. Again, this is two issues. One
Right.
of them, the maintenance, they say they're doing the maintenance, they can provide the records, then that part of the condition is set. The other is that last sentence saying no impact off-site is, like you said, are they doing it adequately so that they are not adversely affecting private, property. And the only way, the way we would do that is then we would hire a consultant, charge you the fee for the consultant to review their records and potentially review their site to determine if in fact they shall have no impact on off-site. And that's the only way that I can see how we do this. Part of this is, is documentation which they can provide. The only other aspect of this is the impact off-site. And the only way I think of doing that is to have an expert consultant actually review this. Because certainly we're not experts in this. Ralph is not an expert in this. Even the planning board, even if the planning board were to do it, they would have their consultant do it, and they would charge you for it. So, that's where we sit at the moment.
Records first, see what they can produce.
Right.
Can make a decision from there.
Okay. I don't know what the request would be. I mean, we would want to see what they produce. We've been asking for it, the town's been asking for it.
But if they come back with records saying that they had done maintenance, they said twice a year, then
But then
they've
we would-
complied with the planning board requirement
At least a portion of
in
that.
that part of it.
So then at that point, we can make a decision after our own engineer reviews these records as to whether we think there's a need to have a consultant, third-party consultant hired to review the system on behalf of the town. So I don't know how we hold this decision in advance until we review these records, or?
I mean, we could do a continuation.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
I mean, without physical records, I can't say Ralph did or didn't do his, if it's proper. If there is written records that shows his maintenance, then I think Ralph's letter was appropriate. So we would deny the appeal, right?
Right.
But without those records, I can't really say that.
Right.
But a continuation, I think, would serve the best interest, because that gives everybody a chance to gather records, talk to the planning board, see if they take any responsibility for this.
Or maybe the parties could come to some agreement.
Yeah.
Continue it a month or 2 or 3.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it's the, it's, even if the record, if they say the records are not adequate, we can get another engineer that say they are, and then we can get another engineer that says they're not. I mean, there's just so much other things that could, unless there's gross negligence, I think, of the maintenance, I don't really think why the town should be involved.
Right. Okay, so are you officially asking for a continuance?
Yes.
She has paperwork for that.
I guess
Oh, we have to pick a date.
the rights need to agree that they're going to sort of participate.
We will participate, we will produce records.
Right, and is that something you can do quickly?
Absolutely.
And
We've been doing it all along.
give it to Ralph?
I can do that.
And Ralph, I assume you want to give a copy to,
You're going to give a copy to the planning board, but I'm going to also see what the planning board's got. 'Cause to me, they should have been tracking this right along, the planning board.
yes,
Yeah. Well, that's another issue, I think.
that's
that
another issue. It really
separately
should never
from
have
this-
come to this board. but
Separately from this, I think we ought to have a discussion with the planner and see if in the future they tighten that up a little bit, as to who's going to keep records, submit records, whatever it may be.
It's kind
We
of,
also have never been requested, only Ralph has asked us, have we maintained? They've never asked for records. So I would have started compiling everything. That was not requested.
Okay, okay, we have a request from the petitioner, I, James Marsh, on behalf of Alma and Deb Maderas, request that the hearing on my petition be continued until, okay, now we have to pick a date. And then I understand that the deadline for making the decision will be extended accordingly. Certainly, it's not, I don't think we can do 3 on the 11th.
No, I think,
I think that'd be too soon anyway. because-
Probably too soon anyway.
I mean.
Well, no, it's just getting records and
Well, it may be more
They
than
have to go
that.
through it all.
They're going to have to go. When,
I
if they
think
got you the
We
records.
talked about it. I think if we give them enough time to get the records together, get them to Ralph, Ralph will let us know when he has them. We can get copies through Ralph's office or through planning's office, whoever's holding the records. If the board is comfortable with continuing for a month, so you're not on the, it sounds like your 11th meeting's pretty,
We already have a few items.
pretty busy from what I heard earlier. So the meeting after that is probably the.
We don't
20
have meetings after that. We schedule
Oh,
meetings.
You schedule, okay, so maybe the
Because
next meeting after the 11th.
That's why we have to pick a date.
Well, we already have
okay.
one.
All right.
We don't have scheduled
Oh,
meetings.
I see. Oh, I see. You, only if you have things
We work on
coming in.
appeals.
Sure.
Don't we have one in March now?
March 11th.
March 11th, okay?
That works for,
I think that would be a better
Yes.
time frame, because I really think there's gonna be more complications.
Yes.
That are gonna come up here.
Oh, yes, you got to look to make sure you're both available.
March 11th works for the petitioner, but let's see if, and myself, but.
Mrs.
That
Maderos?
works.
This evening. Oh, no,
Right.
AMA, would you also be available to appear on,
Yes,
I mean, I think it would be helpful.
it's about us.
Yes. Okay. March 11th?
March 11th.
Okay, so, request that the hearing on my petition be continued until 3/11/2026. I understand the deadline for making the decision will be extended accordingly. So we have a request for continuance. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go to continuance.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. It would be helpful that, if you could provide the documentation, as quickly as possible to Ralph, and then Ralph, make sure you get a copy to them as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Very good.
Hopefully, it doesn't come to the point of us having to hire a consultant, but it may require that.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
so much. Have a great night.
Could I follow up on this, please, before we get off the subject? That I'd like to suggest that we ask Maria to notify, just summarize what just went on.
Yes.
A notice to the planning board, and then I would like to suggest that we meet with the planning board to see if that can't be tightened up a little bit in terms of record keeping.
Yes.
I'm not even sure about the Board of Health, nothing to do with this one, but same thing with the Board of Health. They're supposed to keep records, and you go back there and, you're supposed to keep records of when you have your septic pumps. And half the time they can't find them, and so I think it's an issue.
And there's also that,
I agree.
there was also,
Maria, can you interface with the planning board on this?
and there was also that hubbubaloo for Mouse Mill Road, remember the flooding? There was something they wanted to build on Mouse Mill Road, and the planning board says that there was too much water. And that's just right around the corner.
Yes.
I mean, that could be affecting these guys' properties more than what they've done. I mean, there's just too many unknowns. I mean, unless there's a clear indication that it hasn't been maintained in a negligent way, I think we just need to step aside.
Some of that came up in our 40B
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah, I mean, in the 40B is just up the road too. I mean, like, there's lots of things that have been, and that hadn't been maintained, so that could affect,
All you gotta do is look at a map of that area of Westport, it's heavy developed now.
yeah, it can be, yeah, that's,
Heavy developed, the whole
yeah,
area.
there's a lot more there than there was
Lot
10 years
more there than
ago.
what there was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot more hard surface
other business, we
on
have.
wetland.
This,
Could I just interject one thing
Yep,
here? I happened to watch the planning board the other day, and there was a young fellow there who apparently owns the property around the Portuguese restaurant, or on Route 6.
Oh, yeah.
Or to see it on.
Yeah, and he's in there with a pretty lengthy discussion with the planning board about a 40B
Yeah.
that he's proposing
Yeah,
up there. So I just want to give you a heads up on that.
yeah.
I don't know why he's not.
You know,
Well,
for the seat in Route
multi-
6,
multi-
yeah, so,
Yeah, put the.
Multi-tenement house type things, 4-unit buildings,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, the motel.
Divine real
in the
estate.
back.
the street.
okay.
I just thought I'd let you, give you a heads up on that.
Okay.
Oh,
we
great.
have Meeting minutes.
that's how I want to spend my 2026.
Meeting minutes from December 17, 2025. Maria has generated the meeting minutes. We've all commented on them. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 17, 2025.
I make a motion to approve.
That's not my motion.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No. Okay, good. So our next hearing is on the 11th, of which,
February.
February. Let me sign this.
So you're gonna have
Of which there will be,
0 Hicksbridge Road, you'll have the administrative appeal as well as the variance.
right, we'll have the administrative appeal and the variance. And
And you
We'll
also
have-
have,
The
We'll also have-
Results of the on-site.
yeah, an American Legion.
and American, the 463 American Legion Highway will be for the 11th.
And I have, Jeff Blake should be coming down for both of those.
Okay. Okay. Any other business? So, welcome aboard, Kevin. Thank you. This isn't our typical kind of meeting. We generally try to make decisions, but sometimes, yeah, we,
Put your belt on.
continuations are, the way the continuations work is, in the zoning board is, of course, they have to pay an initial fee of $500 just to come and see us. They get to have one continuation for free, because a lot of people come in and don't have the right kind of documentation, there's too many questions, and so we allow them one continuation without charge. After that, if they require additional continuance, then each one is $100 after that. And it's mostly paperwork that cost us. It's all the Maria's time doing meeting minutes and doing all that kind of stuff that the petitioner has to pay for. So that's the way continuances work. The next hearing, we will have our attorney, Jeff Blake, will be here to assist us through some of these things. We generally do that in cases that have legal issues, or that if the petitioner has come in with their own lawyer and use case study to further their applicant, and then we have no idea if that case study is at all pertinent. So at that point, we generally have our zoning lawyer come in and help us. Any other business? We adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the
Boy,
meeting.
you're right there.
I am.
I second.
All in favor?
You're Mr.
Aye.
Second.